In case you miss it, here's a Sports Animal Rewind.
Pleased to be joined right now by the newest verbal commit for the Tennessee men's basketball program, 2014 class prospect Jordan Cornish, joining us here on the new Sentinel Sports page from New Orleans. Hey, Jordan, Vince, and Brendan. How you doing this morning, Jordan?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. So, Jordan, what was your bottom line this? What was the biggest factor for you to commit to Cuonzo Martin in Tennessee?
Just the storied tradition that Tennessee has. I love the style of play, and I love the toughness that his guys play with all the time, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
You mentioned when we talked last night after your commitment about that style of play, the toughness, but in terms of the actual X's and O's, offense, defense, what you've seen from the program. Cuonzo Martin's been recruiting you for 2 years now, so you're aware of their style of play on offense and defense. How do you see yourself fitting in?
I see myself fitting in well, stepping behind McCray and coming in and handling the scoring. Coach Cuonzo lets his guys play, and you can create off the dribble, do things to score. He lets you do it, so I'm excited about that.
Joined by Jordan Cornish, who's a 6'6", 215-pound shooting guard, combo guard from New Orleans at Brother Martin High School. So, Jordan, clarify your height and weight. We've seen you listed on some other sites at 6'4" and like 185. Where are you at height and weight?
I'm about 6'5.5", 6'6", 215. That is the most accurate.
And how much? I mean, in terms of you growing in your game, and you've mentioned that you're versatile on offense. You can step back, you can hit a three-pointer here and there. You can play at the rim. You're athletic. What are the next steps that you are going to want to really take in your final year to prepare yourself for SEC basketball?
Just continue working hard every day. Hitting the weight room even harder now. Getting those extra shots up, running those extra miles now. Just preparing all the way, and the mental side of the game. Playing in front of those type of crowds every night, it gets tough. So basically the mental side.
And we've talked about the recruiting process. You picked UT over Oklahoma, Purdue, VCU, Houston, UTEP, Wake Forest. Why commit now instead of maybe waiting and seeing some more other offers that could come down the pike?
When you feel comfortable with something and you feel at home, it was an easy process for me. When I came up there the first 2 times, I just felt at home with those guys. And that was a big thing for me. And Coach Martin was straightforward with me the whole way.
Jordan, who'd you grow up a fan of? Being in New Orleans, were you an LSU fan, Tulane fan, or somebody else?
I really always had an eye on Tennessee because one of my mentors is J.J. McCleskey, one of the, great Tennessee cornerbacks. So I always had an eye on Tennessee, but I really don't have a favorite college team. Well, now I do. Tennessee.
Now, have you played other sports as well, or do you have a special place in your heart for football?
Yeah, I played football a long time ago for John Curtis, who was the national champion in high school this year. But after that, I left middle school. I stopped playing. I was just strictly basketball.
And I mean, given your size, I'm imagining the football coach at Brother Martin's probably still pestering you a little bit, maybe trying to get you out in the football field. No.
Every time he sees me, he asks me, "Are you coming today? Coming today?" But he really knows where my heart is, and that's on the court.
Jordan, interesting that you had that affinity for J.J. McCleskey. Why did you like J.J. McCleskey so much?
He's a good guy, man, and he trained me when I was younger. And he was one of my coaches for my biddy team, and he's just a good guy, and he stuck alongside of me the whole way, and he just prepared me for this. And he always told me, it's like you're going to be a ball one day, I promise you. And I used to let it go one ear and out the other, but it came to reality.
Jordan, what happens if LSU makes a late run at you?
I'm loyal. My family teaches loyalty, so I have a strong commitment to Tennessee, and that will never change.
And you've only taken 2 unofficial visits. Are you maybe looking at taking an official where maybe come up for a game or something next year?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be at a few games next year, and I'm coming in June for the elite camp also, just to be around the guys. But that'll be an unofficial visit.
Jordan Cornish joining us here on the new Sentinel Sports page. Is that the correct pronunciation of your last name, Cornish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, what are some of do you get to cook a little bit or just eat the terrific Cajun food in New Orleans?
My mom cooks a lot.
Yeah.
I can't cook at all. But my mom, she cooks a lot, so I love it. I love the Cajun food. I eat it every night.
Jordan, I used to live in New Orleans, so I miss that food big time. You going to be all right being in Knoxville away from mom's cooking and the great Cajun food there? You gonna survive with that?
It might be hard. It might be hard, but I'll get used to it.
All right, we make sure they get you some Cajun food when you get up here. Jordan, just in terms of the NBA, are there guys that you try to pattern your game after, or you think you have some similarities to their game, obviously at a much younger age? Or are there guys you like in the NBA that you like to pattern yourself after?
My favorite player is Kobe Bryant. I just love how he separates himself mentally and physically from the game, and that's what I try to do.
Interesting.
I grew up around guys like DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine graduated from Brother Martin. And Greg Monroe, so that plays for Detroit Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were big mentors for me as well through this process. So being around them, I just know what to do, know what to look for, and know how hard to work, and know what it takes. Being around those guys that know what it takes to get to the NBA.
You watching the NBA playoffs, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
What'd you think of the Bulls winning at the Heat last night?
I want the Bulls to beat the Heat. I'm a Lakers fan. I don't like the Heat at all, so I'm excited about it.
Now, Nate, we played the Nate Robinson audio coming back from the commercial break, and he had some sick crossovers last night. How's your crossover?
My crossover is nice. I can get the job done. I can make a move and get it or whatever. Whatever I need to do to get to the goal, I can do it.
And now you mentioned when you talked to Konzo Martin last night that he told you that your game, reminds him of himself when he was back at Purdue playing probably before you were born. In your conversations with Konzo, talk a little bit more about that. Him kind of comparing you to him as a player. Hopefully your shorts are a little longer than the ones that he wore.
Yeah, that was big. Because I know what type of guy he was at Purdue, so that was a big thing. Yeah. That was a big thing for me. So, and I appreciated that a lot.
And now, Jordan, we know there's a commotion in the background there. We know you're in school. You got a full slate of tests today. You hitting the books. Everything looking good for you qualifying next year and being on point with that stuff.
Definitely.
All right.
And that was actually the football coach who just shook my hand. He was like, "Now you can come play football."
Yeah, you may need to get permission from Konzo Martin
right.
if that's the case. Hey, Butch Jones might be willing to have you come on board too. But
right.
Hey, Jordan, we appreciate you making time with us between your tests there in New Orleans at Brother Martin. We appreciate it. Look forward to covering you here in Knoxville with Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Take care.
Thanks.
All right, that is Jordan Cornish from Brother Martin, the newest verbal commit for the Tennessee men's basketball team in 2014. We appreciate him hopping on with us.